we can use the financial statements and the numbers on them to tease out different meanings and analyze a company. And often we're doing this because we're trying to make decisions about certain things. And there are lots of different ratios and different things that you can do with the numbers to analyze the financial statements. The one for this chapter that we're going to be looking at is the debt ratio. So this is just the ratio of liabilities to assets. And we calculate this by just taking our total liabilities from the balance sheet and dividing it by the total assets on the balance sheet. And let's just illustrate this. Let's say we have two companies. Both of them have 100 million in assets. One of the companies has 20 million in debt. And the other company has 80 million in debt. So both of them still have more assets than liabilities, right? So they own more than they actually owe, which is a good thing, because if you owe more than you own, that's called bankruptcy, right? So you owe more than you actually have. So usually in that case, you are bankrupt. So let's look at this and let's just calculate it. 20 million divided by 100 million, that is 0.2, or you can think of it in percentage terms as 20%. This company over here, it would be 0.8 or 80%. Now, what does this tell us? It tells us a couple of things. How did the company buy its assets? In this case, the company probably funded a lot of its assets, like you bought equipment or inventory or stuff, and you've paid for it, right? So you don't owe a whole lot on it. So you might have paid cash for it or at least paid off the debt that you used to buy it. So you, for every dollar that you own, you owe 20 cents on it. In this company, well, how did they buy their stuff? Well, most of it they bought by using debt. And so for every dollar that they have in assets, again, think equipment or inventory, they owe 80 cents still on that. Now, which company is riskier? So if something went wrong, which company would you be more comfortable saying, hey, they'll be okay? It's probably the lower debt one. Because if something bad happens to this one, they could easily end up underwater, right? So they could easily end up in bankruptcy or something like that, because they're like, oh, well, we have 100 million in assets, and hey, something is not worth as much as it did before. So let's take that scenario. Let's say something is not worth as much as it was before, and the value has gone down $30 million. So instead of 100 million, now we only have 70 million. That's a big problem for this company over here. Like, we still owe $80 million, and now our assets are only worth 70 million because for some reason, assets went down in value. In this case, let's say the same thing happened over here. They're still okay, right? So they owe 20 million. They have 70 million left in assets. The bank is looking at them saying, yeah, this bad thing happened, but you know what? You're okay. You're probably okay. The bank is probably very worried about this company over here if they were the ones loaning them money. You might also hear this as leverage, so you might hear that term thrown around. This is a highly leveraged company, meaning they have a lot of debt compared to assets, and this has low leverage. Now, leverage can be good and bad. You can use leverage to quickly get up and running. So, like, how do you start a business? Well, often you'll get debt. And so that helps you get up and running. It helps you buy assets more quickly. But in addition, that also introduces a lot of risk. So you do have to balance, the pros and cons of having debt, and just this ratio, the debt ratio, helps us analyze that, saying, hey, is this a healthy level of debt or is it not? So it's just another tool in our toolbox to help analyze a company and its risk.